Hey folks, it's Alonzo, and first I want to do is show you why I use FK splines and why I use IK controllers and how it fits in the workflow of a spine for a character. Now, it can also be used for many things, including tails, tubing, anything like that. So what I'm going to do is first open this ReadyRigs Salesman project, a character I did some time ago, and there's a bone set of icon controllers on it, and what I want to do is show those controllers. And also there's a aim constraint on this. So what you want to do is go to the camera, and I'm going to just hit Command T. That's going to bring out my toolbar, and on there there's a the constraint editor. You can also get it from here, okay? But I like to click it from here. Okay, and on that, the camera is pointed to this orbiter, which is this object here. So it just basically rotates around that object. So there's nothing you can do. The pointing is actually aimed at that. So to be able to move the character around, you must delete that. And once you do that, then you'll be able to move this around. And so what I'm going to do is show you, if I go here, control click on it, or command control click, however, and move this to screen, and then I want to move this from Fong to Gerard Garage shading, and then set this up so that you can see the back movement or the icon controllers here. And it starts from a ways back, and then he moves in front of it. Okay, so on this controller here, and in order to see these controllers, we have to go here, locator, and hide, uh, show hide the children. So that toggle switch there, and we have to select the base controller there, and then click off the animatable keys. And once we do that, you can see the icon controls on the back of this character moving back and forth. Okay, so you can see how these controllers will help as a visual aid. And so you can literally tell how your with all kinds of icon controls, you can see how your character's hips are moving. It extenuates that, and the feet, and just the color coding also helps. And in the back, you can see the twist of the spine. And so this actually helps. You can see it moving more. I use a red, green, and blue like a stop sign, kind of red, yellow, and green like a stop sign. And so I carry that theme throughout the whole character. And as you can go here to the visual set and again show hide the selected, you can see the whole the red, yellow, and green in the whole character. And so this is our visual guides to help me when I animate something. And it also keeps it clear, and it keeps from me being confused. Also, it helps whenever you have to pass another character off to another animator. So this is one thing that has helped animators to see exactly what is what. And so there's no problem with that. Also, when you go here to the rig, to the character project, you can see the high back, the mid back, which is here, and the low back, which is the green. And so you have this corresponding of F curves and the icons. And so all of this tying together helps you to animate and keep focus on your project, and you do not have to look for a particular part or search around or thumb through the actual character. You know, this stuff's it actually is offset. The icons are offset from the character, so you don't have to dig into the character body itself and search through bones. And certain bones can be only controller bones, so that's another thing that helps with that. And so I go here and I bring up all the bone sets, you will see that there's lots of bones in here, and this helps with dealing and keeping the visual element or the GUI of the rig together so that I can see it. Okay, now I brought all that up to show you this. The FK spine is the yellow here, and you can even make this any color you want, but like I use these icons here and the color of the icons to help me there. What I want to show you is that the first level of spines you saw, these first ones, multiple, about 6 or 7 bones there, are actually skin. And then there's another bone set that is a controller bone set. And you can see it here. Like if I bring it here and take the top, which is the red one, this is a controller bone here. This first yellow, there's only 3 bones, and those are the bones that are controlled by the icon representation. And then you have the spine bone, or the actual skin bone, which is connected to the geometry. And so as you can see here, one is controlling the other. And so this allows me to make a smooth deformation and have control over those bones. And so that's one of the reasons, I'll go to yellow, which is the mid. That's the reason. You can see it very plainly here. And this is why this makes an S or a Z or whatever. But it's called the natural S spine. And so it's almost, you could probably program it with XP scripting, but it's very helpful type of setup, and you'll find that it is in many it is in many types of rigs. So it's not just electric image. The way you actually build the mechanisms for it are different because you have different buttons and things like that in different programs. But the actual spine itself is a setup that you can use in many different setups. Okay, so I wanted to give you an idea of how that works, and how we're going to use it in our project is like this. So we're not going to build the whole character, and I think I fully explained that to you. We're just going to build that part, that spine and the waist control and those things to help you to understand that. I think that this tutorial would be rather long if I go into the whole character, and so I'm going to show you just this very nice utility, because again, it can be used for tails and all different types of things. Okay, so it again, it helps with animating. Also, even though you can't, there's a unit called Controlizer, and eventually you'll be able to take those controls and add more XP controls on top of those. Well, that's how you do it in other programs, but so I could take those controls and have 4 or 5 different controls on top of those. Okay, but the good thing about it is it's so I can use different things. Now you can see all these type of numerics in here, but the nice thing again about this is that you know, it helps even when you want to reset your character when you have the numerics. Now, the thing about this is that when I first started using this, I use this for this particular one. Now, you can use any type of icons you want, but this is basically because I started with the Mr. Willis rig, and so I'm used to using it for that. But sometimes it does get hidden, and the more visible controls that you have, the better off it is, okay? And if I can't see it or something like that, I'll just go to the actual, I'll go to the project window, and it's very easy to see. And so also you can add an XP control that just zeroes out all of them all at one time. So in Maya, and I'll just mention it here, or other applications, like let's say something for this. Okay, I have 2 controls here, but I don't usually do that. But let's say something for the hand here, I can have controls for the fingers and XP and rigging more controls on top of these controls. So if you had a way to bring it into a channel box, or into if you had just this lined up where it only had the hand controls, the fingers controls, that would be another great thing. Okay, enough of that. You see what we need to do and how this is applied. And again, you can use it for many things. You can also use it for quadrupeds, and then you would just build, you know, the rest of your rig on top of it. So your waist and whatever, you know, rig your shoulders in. But I'm going to dedicate one DVD to just this type of spine because this can be used for many things. Okay, so let's get right over to that. And let me see. Let me just pull this up and see if it'll. No, okay, all right. So, nothing there. All right. So I have, let's see if I have another project that is specifically for, you know what, whenever I click on that the first time, it never comes up. I don't know why that is. But, say, trying to find the spine and I don't see it. Spine project. Okay, so here we are. So I had some redraw problems earlier, and I'm hoping I will not have the same problem. But it seems that I keep having the same problem. Okay, maybe if I start again, it won't happen. But it's very frustrating. This is like the 4th time I'm doing this. But anyway. All right, so this is the same layout, and I seem to have a problem with the redraw on this, but I want to show you that. Okay, all right, this is basically what we're going to be doing, and so you can put other stuff on top of this like a head, but this is the rig itself, and it's pretty much the same thing as the other one. I don't know why I click in here, I'm just getting nothing. So anyway, some plugins in here. So anyway, I keep getting a redraw problem, but we're just going to push forward as much as possible. And just put in some numerics, and it doesn't seem to be working here. Let's try it here. And I know I'm using a beta version of this. Let's see if I can reset this. Maybe it'll help out a little bit. Okay, for some reason that was it. Maybe it just got some kind of funky thing. So anyway, here we are. And so just going to go ahead, and so here's the controllers, and you click on these, and we have the same as I showed you before. Now let me move this display controllers up so you can see these controls here. And this is 3 controllers, the icon cones here, that's going to control 3 control skeletons, and they're going to control the skin.